Door sill protection for the Hyundai Santa Cruz. You've got to protect this area. I'm going to show you how. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Automotive MT. You know, one of the glaring things that the Hyundai Santa Cruz is missing is door sill protection. You know, when you get in and out and you scrape your feet or your shoes, you could be barefoot, I guess, but you scrape your shoes across this threshold here, the door sill. It doesn't take long before this gets scratched or even chipped if you're hard enough on it, especially with the wee little ones running around that might be in the back seat area. So what I've done, I actually found some material because no one seems to make anything standard for these yet. But I found some material out on Amazon, and I'll link this below if you want to check it out. It is, or I chose, the carbon fiber look because I, of course, went with carbon fiber caps for my mirrors. May change these out eventually to all black. I might just replace the whole mirror cap altogether, but I'm kind of digging these. So I thought I would go ahead and match up, kind of tie things together a little bit with carbon fiber or a carbon fiber theme for the door sills. Now, beware, if you get these, when they come 23 inches long. I cut these, 23 inches long. But what you really need, in my approximation, is 18¼ inches for the fronts and 11¼ inches for the back. And I'll show you why. And before we get to putting these on, we're going to do a quick little strength test. Also want to make you aware of what you're actually getting. So let's take a look. I'll show you why or how I came up with those measurements. We'll start in the rear. And if you notice, the door sills aren't straight across. They kind of curve. There's a little curve in the metal up here, and then they get a little narrower back here. So I wanted it to be uniform, and I measured from about right here to about right here where it starts to curve, and that's where I came up with my measurements for the rears. They're going to cover from here to here, and that should be plenty of area that anybody's going to hit. Now, in the front, same kind of thing, and you may have noticed I still have the tape on there. I just kind of taped where I wanted the sill protection to be for the same reason again. It kind of starts to curve out here, the metal does. There's a bend in it. And I didn't want any creasing or any weird looking thing in the sill itself, or in the cover, I should say. So I went just in front of where it starts to curve out, and same thing in the front. It starts to curve out here. So that's the 18¼ inches in between those pieces of tape. Now, let's take a look at the strength of this stuff, because that, of course, is important too. And what I did, I just cut off a couple of little pieces, and I wanted to show you what it is that you're getting. First of all, it is like a vinyl material. On the surface, there really is no skid protection or roughness, if you will, to give you better adhesion, I guess, when you get in and out of the truck. There's nothing to scrape against. It's really pretty smooth. There's a little bit of texturing to it, but that's about it. The adhesive does seem to be pretty strong. I have no doubt that it's going to stick. And then I'll show you a pull test on this just to kind of give you an idea of how strong it is. When you pull it apart like so, you can see it start to stretch right here. That shows you that it is a vinyl type material, not just paper. If it were just paper, I would not use this. So pulling it apart, and I'm putting a pretty good amount of pressure on it, it does break eventually, and it's really more like a vinyl tape, I would say, but just a little bit stronger. Now, you're not going to have any force like that on it anyway. Once it's in there, you're not going to be pulling it like this, but you will be scraping across it. So we'll see. Time will tell how well that will hold up. Now, as far as what you need to actually put these on, my method, go ahead and clean the door sill area first. I just have my little concoction, 6 drops of non-ammonia containing dish soap with water in this, 32 ounce? Yeah, 32 ounce spray bottle. Works really well for stuff like this. A cloth actually to wipe it down. And then some rubbing alcohol to clean the surface off after you clean it with this, just to get the best opportunity for adhesion with this product. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll clean it up, and then we'll come back and we'll put them on. Okay, here we go. We've got it all cleaned off. We want the longer piece, the 18¼ inch, to go right here, obviously. So, it's all cleaned up and everything. I'm going to go ahead and peel it off of here, and we'll see how easily, or not, this actually goes on. Now, some people will peel off a little section and try to stick it down. I've already got it sticking to the side of the truck, but I don't do that. I like to live on the edge. Now, there is a little bit of forgiveness to it, I can tell you already, because you can see I've already kind of stuck it down a little bit, but I'm just trying to have a good line, first of all. Again, it does have some forgiveness to it, but you want to be careful. You don't want to pull too hard on it because it will stretch. So you certainly don't want to do that. They give you this little tool, by the way, so we're gonna make use of that. And I'm already folding over a little bit. I don't like that. So I'm gonna kind of push as I go here. Here we go. You don't want air bubbles in here, of course. Like so. Then you have the bend. Now, what I like to do is go right up to the edge, if I can. And I've got some air bubbles in here already, I can see. So, we'll lift it up a little bit. Again, trying not to okay. We got them there. Seal on here. There's an air bubble. And there's another one. Air bubbles are not your friend, by the way, in case you're wondering. Okay, I think I got them all out. I'm gonna just kind of run down. There's a little air bubble there. Get rid of that. It is forgiving. I like that. Okay, now kind of pinch along the edge so that you can form it as you go. That's what I like to do anyway. And that will naturally start to curve it down over the edge, which is what you want, of course. That looks pretty good. Like so. Now we're going to move on to the back. All right, same process back here. We're going to start where the curvature starts, which is about right here, and go on back. So make sure we are going to fit. Should be no problem. And let's go ahead and get it off of here. There we go. I'm going to try to not stick it to the side of the truck like I did in the front. And this isn't a precise alignment. I mean, just wherever that curve starts, you just kind of eye it a little bit. It's not really that complicated. All right, and then like we did up front, just kind of push it down over the edge. I do like that it covers the edge. There's a lot of these out there for other from other companies rather, that I've seen on other vehicles that don't cover the edge. You want that, you know, it's kind of part of the whole purpose, really. We are all done. On a scale of 1 to 5, how difficult? With 5 being the most difficult, I guess I'd give it about a 1. It's pretty simple. The hardest part of this is sticking it on and not having air bubbles in it, to be honest. As far as the product itself, It's going to protect the door sills for sure, but I wish it was a little bit more abrasive, give you a little more traction if you need, although you really aren't going to be stepping on the door sills because the truck's just not that high, so it's not that big a deal. But let's take a look. I'll show you the finished product. We'll start in the back over here. That's what it looks like in the passenger rear. Again, just something to protect a little bit. It's nothing extravagant. Didn't cost a fortune either. Again, there'll be a link below if you want to check out price and availability. There it is in the front. Again, good coverage. You could extend it further back if you wanted to. You saw that they're 18 and a quarter, cut from 23 and a half, I believe. So let's check over here. Start in the driver's side rear. You can see right there, again, accomplishes the goal. And here in the front, you can see the driver's side as well. The most important side, because that's when I'm going to be getting it in and out of the truck the most, because I'm the only one driving most of the time. Now, I want to point something else out before we move on. I did notice something. I have a separation in the door card here. That's something else I'm going to address. It looks like the clip right here is not in properly. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to take a look at that in a different video. We'll fix that. And it's even worse on the passenger side. So I don't know what happened. Could have happened when they did my window tinting. I did have the front windows tinted. Maybe they pulled the cards loose and didn't put them back in properly. Or maybe this happened at manufacture. I'm not sure. But if you look in there, you can see maybe that white clip right there or whatever. But it's definitely off. Something is wrong. It's wrong right here. It's just wrong. So I'm going to take a look at fixing that a little bit later. We shall see. Check yours and let me know. Does yours look like that? I'd be surprised if it does. Anyway, that is the door sill for the Santa Cruz installation. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Have you done anything else? Have you used these? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive JT, all about Jeep Gladiators. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.